Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I grabbed from the sneakers app. I actually grabbed these about a week before Christmas. I thought they look unique and interesting enough to grab for a review. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these SACAI Nike Zoom Cortez shoes. Alright, this is going to be interesting because I'm actually sitting on the porch instead of my back step. All the icicles are melting and it is wet as can be back there. So I figure at least this way I'll stay dry. But starting with the box, I've seen a box like this before on, I think, the SACAI LD waffles. But it's all orange. It's got Nike on there in like a glossy font. I don't know if you can see that or not because it's the same color, it's just glossy. But it says Nike across the top. Then one side has the N for the Nike emblem. And then on the other side it finishes out Nike and there's a swoosh. It is a drawer style box and the paper also says Nike and SACAI on it. The tag reads Nike Zoom Cortez SP. The colors are iron gray, white, and light cream. This is a size 10.5, and these retailed for $180. And here they are, the Nike SACAI Zoom Cortez. I really like the color scheme on this. It actually kind of reminds me of some New Balance like retro runner silhouettes. I think mainly that's because of just most of it's gray and white, but then this kind of greenish gray color that we see there on the midsole. And then we also have it for the foam on the back. That color combination along with the cream, it really just gives me vibes from like New Balance runners. Like I think I have a pair of 574s that look like that. But that being said, I really like it. I think that the colorway is really easy to wear. I've had several Nike SACAI LD waffles and those were all kind of crazier colors. They were wearable, but I don't think they were quite as wearable as what these are. But you can see the majority of the shoe is just gray. It's got a lot of nice overlays of pretty good feeling suede, and actually it's got some nice white leather on it as well. And in true SACAI fashion, it looks like it's a shoe inside of a shoe. You can see the double tongue, double swoosh, and it looks like up around the collar like there's actually a shoe stuffed down inside of another shoe. So it's very unique, and you know immediately whenever you see this that it's a SACAI shoe because it just has that iconic styling. It also has two different pairs of laces, but that's not as noticeable because they're the exact same color. It's just one is a rope style and the other is flat. It's got a pretty standard, you know, boring looking outsole. It's all just black in color, but it's got herringbone traction in the back and then up in the front. And at the middle of the shoe, you can see that it's got some Nike branding on it, but just a real simple, clean looking outsole. And then as you come up from that outsole, you can see there in the front, you see some of that Zoom cushioning with a visible air unit. And I think that's a cool touch, especially on a Cortez. I've never had a Cortez that had visible air on it. I don't know if any Cortez has ever had air in it, but I think that's pretty neat. And then you get all these different colors of foam. Like in the back, you can see under the heel, it's like a dark gray foam. Then you have this greenish gray kind of sticking out from the back. Then a cream color over top of that. Then in the front, you also get some more gray and that greenish gray color. It's just a really cool looking midsole. And again, I think that style is definitely identifiable as SACAI type fashion. And then as we come up to the upper of the shoe, it's basically like a nylon or like a polyester material. It almost feels like Jordan 1 tongues or Dunk tongues or something. It's along that same line, but it's a nice gray color, and you have that for the whole base of the upper. But then you get premium suede overlays in different shades of gray. You can see it here on the toe box, and then going up the eye stays. I like how it has these jagged edges on that suede going up the eye stays. I think that looks neat. And then for this collar that's kind of inside, you can see it's a lighter color of suede, but it's got those jagged edges on those eye stays as well. Then on the back, we also have two different colors of gray suede, and again, it's really hairy, but it's on the bottom of the heel, and it just looks really cool. For our swoosh, we have a pretty premium feeling white leather. It's a nice thick cut, and it's got a nice texture on it. And on the outside of the shoe, it's also got this gray swoosh kind of printed over top of it, which again is kind of hammering on that style of a shoe inside of a shoe. On the inside of the shoe, it's just the plain white leather swoosh. I don't know if you can see that texture, but it's got a real nice feel to it. And then on the back, we've got more of that premium leather with both Nike and SACAI branding. We also have that print on the paper within the shoebox. The tongue on the top tag has Nike and SACAI branding, whereas the bottom tag only has the Nike branding on it. And I like the hit of bright orange on that top tag. That's basically the only color that we have on the whole shoe, and I think that's pretty cool. And like I said before, we've got two different sets of laces. One is a gray rope style lace, and then the other one is like a flat lace, but it seems like it's like braided together, that flat lace. It's not like your standard flat lace that you get in Jordans or whatever. It's got a really neat look to it. Adds a lot of texture to the shoe. I really think that collar is a neat detail, just the way it looks like a light gray shoe is inside of a dark gray shoe. And you can even see areas like this dark gray leather from the inside shoe peeking out, and I think that's pretty neat. The sock liner is a light gray color, but on the outside shoe, it looks like the sock liner would have been a darker gray color. It looks like our insole is white, and it's got both Nike and SACAI branding down on there. I think these are very unique. I love the style of them. Every time I get a SACAI Nike, I end up moving it out of the collection. Even though I always like them, I just never get around to wearing them. With these, I think that the outsole seems really narrow compared to how wide the rest of the shoe gets. So I feel like it'd be a little bit wobbly. Like, I feel like if you're unsteady, then it might kind of cause some balance issues, but maybe I'm overthinking that. It just seems like the outsole is really, really narrow. I do think that this colorway makes this the most wearable Nike SACAI collaboration that I've ever owned. I'm not sure if I'll be hanging on to these. I don't think I would wear them in the wintertime, because I think if they got wet, then your feet would end up soaking wet. I think it's more of like a warm weather type shoe. I love the style. I think they're really unique, and I think it's definitely an interesting looking shoe. I appreciate y'all watching tremendously, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.